Welcome to Architect of Tomorrow. We don't just write code here, we design the systems that run the world.
Have you ever felt like the next step in your career isn't just about writing better code, but, well, thinking in a completely different way? That leap from developer to software architect? It's exactly that, a fundamental rewiring of your brain. It's all about moving from building features to building systems that are meant to last. And today, that massive shift is being supercharged by a new partner, generative AI. This one question, it's everything. A senior engineer once dropped this in a code review, and it just perfectly captures the huge gap between programming and architecture. See, it's not about the code you're pushing right now. It's about the problems that code is going to face, or maybe even create, years down the road. This is what you call temporal thinking. So, for example, instead of just figuring out how to store user data today, you're already thinking about how you're going to migrate a terabyte of that data to a whole new system in 5 years with zero downtime. Big difference, right? And that shift in thinking, it creates this kind of wall that a lot of developers hit. So we're going to explore what that wall really is, and more importantly, how you can start to think like an architect and climb right over it. The real challenge is moving from that short-term, just-get-it-done view to a long-term, system-wide perspective. It's about learning to see the entire forest, not just the single tree you're working on today. Yeah, this really breaks it down, doesn't it? As developers, we are absolutely laser-focused on today's feature. Our process is pretty linear. We get the requirements, we code, we test, and we ship. We're optimizing for speed. But an architect? They're thinking in life cycles. They're optimizing for the poor developer who has to change that code 5 years from now. And that requires a completely different, way more holistic way of thinking. Okay, so if it's not just about being the best coder on the team, what is an architect's true role? It's so easy to picture some person locked away in a room just drawing boxes and lines, but we're about to see that the reality is way more collaborative, way more strategic, and honestly, a lot more interesting. Let's just cut to the chase. Beyond the fancy title, what does the day-to-day actually look like? And what is it that really makes an architect successful in their job? You know, a study of architects revealed what they find most important in their meetings, and the answer might actually surprise you. Just look at the top 2 items on this chart: brainstorming the ideas of others and understanding aspects of the problem. It's not about dictating solutions from some ivory tower. The role is all about facilitating a conversation, exploring the problem space really deeply, and getting everyone on the same page. At its core, you could say architecture is a game of balance. You are constantly weighing the short-term needs of a project against the long-term health of the system. Every single choice you make is a trade-off, and a huge part of the job is being able to explain and defend those compromises to literally everyone, from engineers to executives, in a way they can all understand. So how on earth do you manage all this complexity? Well, architects rely on a really powerful mental toolkit. Let's take a look at the blueprint they use to see the system not as one giant thing, but as a collection of principles, patterns, and perspectives. This diagram is a fantastic map of the architect's world. They really do act as a bridge. See, they start with the business mission, they figure out all the stakeholders and what they care about, their concerns, and then they use different viewpoints and models to create that architectural description. This is the blueprint that connects what the business needs directly to the technical design. It's how they make sure everyone from the CEO down to the junior dev is on the same page. A classic way to do this is something called the 4+1 view model. Instead of one giant, confusing diagram, you look at the system through different lenses. You've got the logical view for what it does, the process view for how it performs, the development view for how the code is organized, and the physical view for how it's all deployed. So what's the +1? That's the scenarios, the key user stories that tie all the other views together and prove that they actually work in harmony. And this really gets to a core idea. Think of it like this. A developer's job is to make the car go. An architect's job is to figure out what happens when that car hits a pothole at 80 miles an hour. They design for those tricky non-functional requirements, things like scalability, reliability, and security. And these aren't features you can just bolt on later. They have to be baked into the very structure of the system. Okay, so we've established the architect's mindset. Now let's introduce the catalyst that's about to transform everything we've just talked about, your new AI co-pilot. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. This is where architecture is heading right now, and it is happening fast. We are moving way beyond AI that just completes a line of your code. The next frontier is AI that works at a much higher level. So, instead of just suggesting the next line of code, Imagine it proposing 3 completely different ways to structure your entire microservices architecture, complete with a list of pros, cons, and even cost estimates for each one. So what does this actually look like in practice? Picture this workflow. You feed an AI all your system requirements, including the tough non-functional ones. The AI then spits out several potential architectural candidates. It can even help you analyze the trade-offs of each option. But, and this is the most important part, the human architect is still in the driver's seat, using their judgment and experience to make that final call. It's like having a whole team of brilliant junior architects on demand 24/7. And it's not just about the initial design, not at all. AI is becoming a force multiplier across the entire lifecycle. It can automate those tedious but critical tasks like generating up-to-date documentation or filling out compliance reports. It can help you create digital twins, which are basically virtual models of your system that let you stress test changes before you write a single line of production code. It's like having a crystal ball for your architecture. Now, this diagram looks complex, I know, but it shows just how deeply AI can be integrated. In these modern cloud-native systems, you can embed AI-powered analytics right into your governance framework. These tools can monitor everything, detect security threats in real time, and even predict potential failures before they happen. It's a massive shift from reactive problem-solving to proactive, intelligent system management. So this future sounds incredibly exciting, but I get it. It can also feel a little distant. The good news is you don't have to wait for some fancy new tool to start this journey. Let's talk about how you can begin developing an architect's mindset right now, in your current role as a developer. Here are 4 concrete things you can literally start doing this week. First, for your next feature, try drawing a simple data flow diagram. It forces you to see how everything connects beyond just your own code. Second, in design meetings, get comfortable asking why. Just keep asking it until you understand the business reasons behind technical requests. Third, go find a mentor. And finally, maybe start exploring foundational certifications, like for AWS or Azure, just to build a solid understanding of how large-scale systems are put together. And I want to leave you with this thought. As you move toward architecture, your technical skills are absolutely the foundation, but your ability to communicate, that becomes your primary tool. Your impact won't just be measured by the systems you design, but by your ability to explain, to persuade, and to build consensus. Your words start to matter a lot. Ultimately, this whole transition from developer to architect is about expanding your timescale. Your code is vital. It solves the problems of today. But the architect's challenge and their ultimate value is designing those robust, resilient systems that will gracefully solve the unknown problems of tomorrow. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What system are you building?